Hi, this is Blockchain Bad. Welcome to another episode of a Swim Smart Contacts Development Series. Today, we are going to be talking about structs. Structs are user defined structures, data structures that contain type fields of custom data or no data. So, how do you write structs? To write structs, we're going to use a keyword public. We're going to start with a keyword public. Then, we're going to write structs. So, the reason why we're using public first is because all structs will be tagged public. There is no private structs. Then we have to impute the structs name. I'm going to name the structs my structs. And also, while naming your structs, make sure it starts with a capital letter. That's letter A to Z, capital letter. Don't start with a number or a special character. Then after starting with a capital letter, you cannot continue with underscores or numbers. So I can call my structs my underscore structs 1, 2, 3. It depends. So I'm going to leave it as my structs. And there are two types of structs in Move. We have the name field struct and we have the positional struct. So first of all, I'm going to be writing positional struct. So write positional struct, you have to start with the curly brackets. Then, just like I said, a struct can contain a data or no data. So we can write the struct without a data. So I'm going to leave this struct. This is my struct without data. I'm going to define our last struct. I'll be calling that struct students. Then it's going to have fields. So the first field I'm going to give it is the age field. It's going to be of type U8. Then the next field I'm going to give it is male, which is going to be of type bold. Then I can also define another struct. Let me call that struct grade. It's going to have two fields. Let me give you the first field, maths. It's going to be of type U16. And also, the next grade is going to be English. I'm going to call it ENG. It's going to be of type, the year is going to be a comma. It's going to be of type U16 also. You can leave a cleaning comma by writing structs. And also, structs fields also have a type of a struct. So now here also, let me call the next field grades. Then it's going to be of type grades, which I defined here. So if you look at it here, I define my grades here. So these fields, this grades field under the student struct is going to be of type grades. So let me show you how to use type struct. So first of all, let me write a function. We're going to call the function create student. You're going to take 4 arguments. The first argument is going to be student age. It's going to be of type U8. The next is going to be male. It's going to be of type bool. Then next is going to be maths, which is going to be of type U16. And also English, which I'm going to call ENG, is going to be of type U16 also. Well, first of all, I'm going to create a variable. Let me call that variable students. Yeah, it's going to be of type students. Then I'm going to pass in my struct. So don't get this confused. This student, don't get this expression confused. It's just like writing, let me come here and create a variable. Let me call it age. There's going to be of type U64. So U64. Then it's going to hold a value of, let's say, 1000. So that's the same thing I'm doing here. So my student is of type students. So I can call it student 1 or student 2. Or let me just call it student 1. Then it's going to be of type students. So first of all, you're going to take the first field you're going to give it is the age. So we're going to write the field age. Then we're going to pass in the value student age. Student age. The second field we're going to pass to it is male. So let's write is male. I'm going to pass in the value of, is male. I'm going to pass in a value of is male. Sorry, I'm sorry. So I was supposed to put students here. Yeah. Then the next value I'm going to pass is the grades value. So if you look at it here, the grades is of another type of grades. So what I can do, first of all, I can reduce it two ways. I can do it like this, write grades, then put in the grades struct. Then what does grades struct take? It takes maths. I'm going to pass the value of maths. The next field is English. They're going to pass it the value of English. So this is one way in which I can define struct. So let me define struct again. Allow me. So let me call the next one. Let me call it students 2. Again, I can either define the data type. So I can leave it as students, or I can just remove it. So I need to define my struct. Then let me see, put in the age, which is going to be of the student age. Then the next field is going to be is male. Then we'll take is male value. Then the next field is grades. So what I can do here, I can just come here and create another variable grades. That's going to be of type grades. Then I'm going to define the struct grades. Then the first field is going to be maths. The value is maths. Then the next field is going to be English. I'll give the value of English. One thing again, since my field name is called maths here, and my variable is also named maths, I can just pass in, instead of me writing maths twice, I can just pass it into a struct like that. So, but if in case it was called maths here, it wouldn't work. So I have to write a math. Can I just pass in maths here? I have to write a maths, then give it maths. But since it is called maths, I can just write it like that. Same as the English. Since the value name is going to have my variable name, I'm going to really just leave it like that. Here it's going to be English. Then I can come back here and pass grades. Give the value of grades. So just like I said here, it's all be right. Since my variable name grades is the same thing as my field name, I can just pass in the grades. Stop me like I said it twice. I'm going to leave it here as grades. You know, for it to semicolon. So I can do it both ways. I can either do it like this or like this. So anyway, first let me just comment this out. Then I'm going to call these students, students. Sorry. So if you look at it, you say the local variable students contains a value and does not contain the dope ability. So structs have different ability. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about the abilities of structs. So right now, I'm just showing how to define structs. So remove this error. I have to return the struct. So let me return students. So just like the way in our previous tutorial, a function can return different data types. I'm going to return our students data type, which is the structs we defined. So to satisfy this, I'm going to return students. So I can either use the return keyword or not. So I would use the return keyword. So we have made use of our structs. Let's look at how to destructure a struct and also get data stored in the structs. So let me create another function called get student. So public fun get students. Then it's going to accept, we're going to pass in the argument students. There's going to be of type students. Then let's say it's going to return, we're going to return our age, which has data type of hue. It's going to return the smell, which is bool. Going to return English and maths, which are of type hue 16. So let me show you, first of all, show you how to access value in named structs. So to access value in named structs, let me create a variable. Let me call this age. So to access the age variable in this, to access the age from data in this student, so I'm going to call it students. I'm going to access this using student dots, then age. Look at it, age. So that was age we have. Then the next one we can do, let me call it Ismail. Then we're going to be student dot Ismail. Sorry. Student dot Ismail. So let's print out those values. Let me come here and import. Let me use the debug module from the std. So I'm going to import debug. Then let me print out those values. Sorry. Debug prints so we're going to be printing out, sorry, we're going to be printing out this value. So let me show you how to destructure. This is how to access the data in a struct. So let me show you how to destructure a struct. So if you look at it, you see after an error, they said expected these values. So we have to return these values out. So let me show you how to destructure a struct to get these values. You can either access them like that, but if we access them like this, because you know giving abilities to our structs, let's get some errors. So we're going to talk about abilities in our next tutorial video. So let me just show you how to structure a struct to get the values we need. So to structure a struct, you have to do it like this. Then first of all, our struct data type is of we name students, so the curly brackets. Then next we have to give it the names. So first of all, the fields. Our first field is age, Ismail and grade. So I could give the field age. Then the next one is male. Then the next field is grades. Then equal to students. So this is how to destructure a struct. So now if you look at it now, this grades now is still of type grade. So we can destructure this particular struct in two ways. So this is the first way to destructure this struct. The second way to destructure this struct, let me just copy this line of codes to make things faster. The second way to destructure it is by destructuring this grade struct again. So the destructure this grade struct, I'm still going to do it like this, slides grids, then give our curly brackets again. Then the two fields we have there is we have maths and we have English. So this is the first way to destructure this struct, and this is the second way to destructure this struct. So I'm going to return these values. So I'm returning them. First, I'm going to return the age, Ismail, then maths, and also English. So this is I returned these values. So also, why is the structure this fact? This stopped. Let me say my struct does not return anything. So if you look at it now, let me just remove this and say my struct does not return anything. You will see that this will give us warnings that we have to put underscore when we don't need them. So let's say I don't want to reduce this age value, I can just put an underscore here, put a column underscore Then here again, I put a colon, they put underscore, put another column again, then underscore. So this shows that fine, I just want to destructure the struct without using the values in them. They are going to be creating the values away just like that because we don't need them. And last thing again is that let's say I have this age now and I want to assign the age to another value. So let me just come here and call let's age 2. Let me just define it here. So now let's come here and say, okay, fine, this age, let me come here after return. So let's say that this age now, I don't want it to be called age. I want to pass it out to another value again. So I can come here and put age 2. So if you look at it now, I can now return instead of age now, I can now return age 2. Sorry, age 2. So the same with my Ismail. Let's say let me just assign a value. Let me just initialize a variable and let me call it main. Then I can come here and just let's say I want to see it as male. So I can do this also, but I'm going to leave everything as the way it is. So let me remove this and also remove this. So I can just get rid of this and this also. So let's come here and write tests for our functions. So let me first call the flex function. So from our structs module, I want to access the function called create students. So it's going to accept 4 arguments which are age. Suppose it's called age 16. It's not going to call it 2. Then the English grade will call it 56. Then the maths grade 55. Then if you look at it, our create students returns students or students dot. So I have to fetch it. So I'll assign it a variable called students. So let students will be equal to our returned value. I feel that it's going to do that since we're returning our student value, move already the text that we're returning our students value. So if you look at it again, it says C contains a value, does that with dope ability, just like I said, function, we start how different abilities are going to talk about that. Now let's pass in our students. Let's pass in this our students. Let's access our next function. I'm going to pass in these students to our next function. So our next function, I'm going to access from our structs of module. I'm going to access this get student function. So we are going to access this function and we're going to pass in this student here as an argument. And also, if you look at it, this our student returns this the student function returns U8, bool, U16, and J60. So the first value, let's catch those return values. So I'm going to catch them as age, is male, maths, and English. Since that is those are the data types return. So if you look at it also, we early detects those data type returns from the structs. So let's print out this value. So we can just use this, import our debug from the std standard library. So debug, I'm going to punch the age and we'll just paste the age. In the rest I'm going to delete it. So since I'm not going to be using that file, let me just add underscore in the beginning of them since I will be using them to remove the warnings. So let's build our code. So swi love build. So our code built without errors. Now let's run our test. So to run our test, we're going to write swift with tests. So our tests has been passed successfully. So if you look at it, shows passed. I will also be creating a tutorial for test. Well, for now, I'm just testing this to test our structs. So if you look at it, we have some values printed. Our first value printed is, let's come back here to our create students. So okay, to our test function. So the first value printed, this 16 is the age. The next one is true. The next one printed in here is from this. Next one printed is from this text function, which is the age again. So this is how we can use named field structs. So let me show you how to define and also use. Let me show you how to use and also define positional structs. So for positional struct, let me define the struct. I'll let me name the struct my struct 2. So for positional struct, each one of using curly brackets, you're going to use lemma brackets, that's tuple. And just like I said, structs can contain values or name or value. So I'm going to do this of written value. I'm going to define another struct called points 3D. So just like I said, the different thing on those positional struct and field struct, name field struct, is that in name field struct you have to give it the field, that's the age, and you have to give it the field and the data type. But in positional struct, you only have to give it the data type. So let me give it 3 fields. So I'm going to write 3 data types. They're going to be U64, U64, and U64. So let me show you how you can use positional struct. So let me create a function called getCoordinates. So public from get, let's call it getCoord. Then it's going to return, let's say U64. Oh sorry, let's say it's going to return points 3D. So you just return points 3D. So let me create the points. Then I'm going to give it x, y, and z coordinates. So let me just give it 10, 20, and 30. So let me return it. So let me show you how to also access the data in the structure and also destructure it. So I'm going to write another function called getCoordinates. So we'll call it getCoord. Then going to access the points which are going to be points 3D. Then it's going to return U64, and also U64. Sorry. Let me call this create coordinates rather than get coordinates. Create, but why I call it on get coordinates? So to destructure a positional struct, let's first writing by 3D. Then to do this, we can collect the values for it, which can be x, y, and z. Then equal to points. So this is how to destructure a positional struct. So if you look at it here, an error is coming up which is on one variable x. So we have to initialize this variable. So I'll call x, let x, let y, and let z. So now if you see, you can now return those values as x, y, and z. Then to access the values in a positional struct, we have to access them using their index. While in a name field struct, we access them using the field names. Like here, while we are accessing this data type, is we used the name field is able to access the data type, but in named field or positional struct, we use we index the index to fetch the value. So let's say I want to fetch the x code, the first expression. So we call a variable called x code. Then I want to fetch the first data. I can now say points dot 0. So that's it for fetching the first, and then to fetch the next one again, to fetch the second one, I can say points dot 1. To fetch the third one, I can say points dot 2. So this is how to fetch data from positional structs, and this is how to destructure it. If you look at destructuring both of them, they are similar but they are not distinct, so take notes of the differences. So this is how to access the data from a positional struct. So let's come back here to our test function and write on that test. So let me just, so first of all, from these structs module, we're going to access this create code function, which is going to return some values. So let me just call them points. Then also we have to pass these points to get coordinates. So from this also again, we're going to call this function get codes, and we're going to pass in the points to it. Then it is returning some values. So let's fetch the value which it returns. So I'm going to call the return value x, y, and z. So we would fetch x, let's x, y, and z. So we can choose to print out these values, then print them out. Debug print x. Let me go put a paste. Y, and z. So let's run our tests. So our test has been run successfully. We passed the test. So if you look at it, these last three values we printed are the coordinates values. So if you look at create coordinates, we pass in 10, 20, 30, and when putting them here, look at them 10, 20, 30. So this is how to write structs and how to. So in this video we talked about how to define structs, use them, and destructure them, and also get data from the structs. We talked about the names film structs and also the positional structs. So there are some, I would say, similarities. There are some differences between them. So one of the differences between named structs and positional structs is that while accessing data from named structs, you have to use the field name. So just like here, what we did here, to access it, we used student structs, Ismail. But whereas in positional structs, we have to use the index. So here we call it points dot 0, and also for name structs, it's easy to understand, unlike positional structs. So if you look at name structs, now you're looking at it, you know that yeah, this age, this struct is male and great. But if you look at positional struct, it's kind of difficult to understand because you just get a data type without a field, so you wouldn't know which fields to pass into it. And it's just so it makes it easier to read and understand. So you use the name struct when you need clarity on something, and for complex data, you can't use the positional struct for complex data. So I'm going to be giving out the differences and how to use them on the GitHub repo for you to read them clearly. So here are the explanation and when to use of name-free struct and positional struct. The next video, we're going to be talking about struct abilities. Thank you very much. If you have any question, you can drop them in the comment section. I will always answer your question.